to our legal breakdown. You know, ever since Bob Mueller became special counsel, there's been discussions about his potential removal. Some conservatives say Trump should fire him. Many experts say any effort by a president to remove the prosecutor investigating him could be obstruction or even a constitutional crisis. But this whole debate often misses a key point that protects Mueller. The president cannot unilaterally fire him, which is bad news for any president who might think it's easy to remove a special counsel. Mueller can only be removed by Rod Rosenstein, who appointed him and says there's no reason for removal.
I'm satisfied, Congressman, because based upon what I know, which is different from what accounts may appear in the media, based upon what I know, I believe Director Mueller is appropriately remaining within his scope and conducting himself appropriately.
But what if Trump demanded that Rosenstein fire Mueller? The rules prevent that, too. Unlike, say, the president's cabinet or every other federal prosecutor who the president can fire for no reason, the DOJ rules protect the special counsel and state he can only be fired for misconduct, dereliction of duty, or good cause, which has to be stated in writing. That's pretty ironclad. But what if the DOJ or a president just makes up a claim of misconduct to fire a special counsel? Then what? Well, I think we need to call in a heavy hitter. Seth Waxman was a federal prosecutor in one of the most prestigious offices in the country, serving 13 years in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office. He has been lead counsel in over 60 jury trials and is quite the prosecutorial expert to have. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, Seth, the rules prevent firing Mueller for no reason. What if the Trump administration tried to do it anyway? Then what?
Well, if he went that route and tried to kind of circumvent or, trump the special counsel rules, there could be an action filed in federal court. This is a DOJ regulation, and like all regulations, they are subject to review under an arbitrary and capricious standard, and that's under a technical regime called the Administrative Procedures Act. And so if Trump were to go that route, there potentially could be a lawsuit filed in federal court and litigation over that matter.
So you're saying, and we'll put this standard back up here, that these words that have the description of what has to happen, not the president, it has to only be the DOJ, but it also has to be misconduct, dereliction of duty, or good cause. You're saying if they just made it up and told Mueller not to come into work, what, his own team would then go to a judge and say this isn't true?
Yeah, I think that's one of the groups that could do it. They would have what's called standing under the law to file a lawsuit under the Administrative Procedures Act, state that the action taken by Donald Trump or, whoever he would have carry out this act, if it's not Rod Rosenstein, someone down the line of succession, and state that that's arbitrary and capricious and have a court review that determination.
And then just to be clear, because, you've done a lot of cases, how does that work? How long does that take? What if a judge decided that it was made up, that there wasn't good cause? Then what happens?
So that process can take months, if not longer. So in the meantime, Bob Mueller would continue through with his investigation, and that Administrative Procedure Act proceeding really would take so much time that it could be the case that it could not derail Mueller's work.
And this kind of thing that we're talking about here, do you think Bob Mueller or his lawyers have thought about this? Do you think they'd be ready to fight this out if it came to it?
Well, I have little doubt of that. As we've seen in some of the Michael Flynn pleadings, that they've already kind of speculated that if there was such an action taken to try to derail this investigation, that on the federal level, that they could take this into a state proceedings. Bob Mueller and his team are very sophisticated lawyers at the top of their game, and I think they've thought through many of these different avenues. And if it did come to that, I think there would be legal challenges.
It's fascinating, and all these rules, as you've explained, do kick in a way where other people have the final say, not Rod Rosenstein, certainly not the president, which is a fascinating part of our system. Seth Waxman, thanks for walking us through it.
Thank you.